Good morning. It is 6:58 a.m. on Friday, July 28th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I've been up for a little while. This is 5 more minutes. I was up way too late last night for a couple of reasons. One is that we were recording the latest episode of Beyond the Wall, which is the Game of Thrones podcast that I do with Chooch and Viv and Nutty, and you should check out my Twitter feed for a link to the episode there if you're a Game of Thrones fan. But also because of a little bit of dealing with Luna and a little bit of uh, we'll get back into it once I bring the story around. You'll see. So yesterday, during much of the day, I was actually feeling very anxious and kind of sad about what's going on with Luna. And it was kind of, like anytime you're dealing with something that in an ongoing way, it kind of comes and goes like the tide, right? And so yesterday was kind of a heavy emotion day as far as that goes. And I was actually not feeling very good about that. And you know what? Honestly, it ties into this other thing that I'll get into. I don't know. I shouldn't be coy about it. That's stupid. Just the healthcare debate that's going on in the Senate right now. I don't need to be coy about it. It's not like a surprise. But the point that I wanted to make is that once I got home from work, though, Luna was actually seeming like a little more herself. I wouldn't say completely back to normal, but certainly an improvement over the last couple of days. And I think part of what's going on there is that with her routine temporarily disrupted and shifting her medications a little bit on Monday, this past Monday when I took her in for the CAT scan, I think getting the medications out of sync, because she's currently taking an anti-inflammatory that could cause stomach upset, a painkiller that could cause stomach upset, and then a third medicine that's supposed to help with the stomach upset. And I think we kind of got those a little bit out of sync, and it was resulting in her not feeling good and having no appetite and no energy, which was obviously a bad combination. But we seem to have gotten that stabilized, and so she's doing a bit better, which is good. It makes me feel better to some extent. Although part of what was going on last night, though, as we were going to bed, is that she's trying to lick herself down there. But part of what's happened is she's gotten herself a little bit raw from all the licking. And so I came to the conclusion that because she couldn't quite leave herself alone, that I had to put the cone on her and then apply some, ointment to try to help her feel better. And it was it was almost like flipping a light switch because she was really kind of stressed and looking at herself and couldn't seem to get to sleep, and it was keeping me awake. And so then I put the cone on her and the ointment, and it's like snoozing away. Yeah, so that seems to have been the right call. But at the same time, this was after midnight, and this was exactly when all of the, craziness, was going down with the voting in the Senate about the health care bill. And the reason I was kind of connecting those in my head is just this feeling of a system gone wrong. This idea that I have to take these extra steps, Luna wanting to lick at herself because it doesn't feel good, but the licking is actually making the problem worse. You see where I'm going with this? And so it's kind of a, temporary reassurance that that the vote they were trying to have failed, but it was also just this thing where because they weren't getting what they wanted, they just continued to try to ramp up the extremity of the measures they were taking to try to make it happen. to the point where everybody's tired and exhausted and upset and everyone's mad, and it's just kind of a question of like, wow, this is starting to be crazy here. At a certain point, if there's any actual feeling of like, well, we're doing this for the American people because we really want a bill to help improve the situation, when you have senators who are actively talking about, like, well, I'll vote for it, but only if you guys promise that it won't become law, that seems like there's something that's gone wrong. In any event, yeah, I was up too late. Now I'm tired. But at least for right now, Luna seems like she's a little better. There's kind of ups and downs, and she's on more of an up right now. Although she's looking at me like she thinks that she wants extra treats, and so yeah, I think that's fair. I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.